Hello, stamping friends. This is Jenny from Celebrate the Journey, and it's Thursday. I'm a day off this week because we went to Georgia to spend some time with my sister and other family members. So we got home pretty late yesterday. So I just knew I wouldn't be able to pull anything together that made any sense. And I'm not sure I can do it today, but we're going to try. Traveling is hard these days, especially when there's 10 inches of snow. And, we're from Georgia. We're not really used to the snow, but we managed. So here we are making some cards tonight. And then hopefully by next week I'll be back on schedule with Mondays and Wednesdays. But I did want to share with you some things and give you some ideas of maybe what you would like from the new mini catalog. Let me go get that mini catalog. So tonight we're going to use this suite. We're just going to use a little bit of it. This is called Fancy Flora Suite. If you want everything, two stamp sets, dies, shimmer paper, bling, ribbon, and designer series paper, then you can just do one-click button here and get the whole collection. But if you just want bits and pieces of it, then that's fine also. So you just would pick which items you would want. So this has some pretty fancy, intricate dies. This has labels, and that's my favorite because I love different shaped labels and dies for sentiments and all of that. So I think that's pretty cool. So you're you'll want to look at all of those things. And these sentiments in Something Fancy are great. So speaking of which, the Something Fancy is our class to go this month. And if you are interested in getting that class to go, I think the deadline is the 21st. So if you want to reserve a place in that class and get the paper, the ribbon, the bling, and all the pieces to create your cards in the mail, you need to do that by the 21st. Now, these dies are pretty fancy, and I know not everybody likes dies. I think that's, or you don't always like the fancy dies, but you can create with this stamp set without the dies. So I wanted to show you how to do that. And then this paper is just gorgeous. It's so pretty. So we'll do I'll show you how that works. The sentiments in this Something Fancy are great. Sympathy, birthday, thinking of you, thank you. Just lots of good sentiments. So this is the Fancy Flora DSP. You can just cut this and make it into a card without even having to have the stamps. You can just have some nice sentiments, and then you can use this paper and some complementary colors with it. Then the back sides are, just a little more simpler, I guess. It's like paint smeared on canvas, isn't it? Isn't it pretty? So this is the one we're going to use tonight. So let me put that to the side, and we'll start some stamping. So this is Two Tone Flora. It's also two-step stamping. So that means you stamp the background and then the highlights, the background, the highlights, and then you've got some little other accent pieces. It has dies that cut out the flowers, so they'll cut those flowers out. Oh, maybe cut. These are not show the right size on here, the same size, but these will cut out these images. This is 90%, so we're not seeing it all. And then it has this really fancy, intricate die that will cut out a whole background. You can use it as the background of your paper. You can use it as a stencil and add embossing paste. There's so many things you can do with this die, and I'll be sharing some of those ideas with you next week or during the next couple days. But I wanted to show you how you can make a card with this without really using the dies, because maybe you don't like all the die cutting, you don't have a cut and emboss machine, you just want these pretty flowers, and we can do that. So we're gonna start with that. So I just have a 2.5 by 4. I think that's what this is. I will double check the measurements. Yeah, it's 2.5 by 4 piece of basic white. And we're going to do some stamping with Orchid Oasis to start with. And we're going to use the bigger floral image, the solid background one, and then the highlight one. So you can use 2 different colors, but what we're going to do is stamp off to give it the color that we want. So I'm going to ink this up. Oh, Leanne, thanks for joining us tonight. I hadn't seen you for a while. I did get to see Leanne in person last week. A Leanne sighting. So we'll stamp off. I don't know, that seems really, we'll lightly stamp off. There we go. Oh, I like that. It gives it a two-tone ombre look. And now for our highlights, we're going to let those be dark. I think this would look pretty if we used fresh freesia, if you had that color. I'm not real sure, but I wanted to use the Orchid Oasis. Now I've cut a piece of masking paper so that I can create more of a collage look. That's what we want to do here. So we're going to cover up our flower. Doesn't matter if it gets a little on there. It's not going to hurt anything. Let's stamp off. I forgot to do my, no, I did the highlight one, didn't I? Now, we're not going to worry about that because we can fix that where it doesn't like the masking paper. Now we'll add our highlights. This is a real watercolory kind of look here. Now when we peel this up, now we have 2 flowers, and it actually looks pretty good there. I don't think we're going to have to do any what I did do was if you get more white there than you like, just use your Wink of Stella and bring that color Of course, you want to add Wink of Stella everywhere so it doesn't look funny. I'll blend those colors. Now we're going to add some pink because here's our paper. Remember, we're trying to pick up these colors. So we're going to add some Blushing Bride. This time I'm not going to use the masking because I don't mind the Blushing Bride overlapping here. It's such a light color, it's really not going to cause an issue. I want to make sure that, yeah. So we're going to stamp some. See, you don't really notice it there. We're just getting a little Blushing Bride going here. I think we'll put another one there. Now, this time I am using a different color. For my highlights, I'm going to use Flirty Flamingo. You know, when you haven't turned your computer on for a couple of days, you get all these little pop-ups. That's all I've gotten since you guys logged on, so can't stand that. So now we'll add our little highlights here. Once you play with these, you'll get an idea of where the highlights belong on that flower. It's kind of, it's a little bit tricky, but not too bad. Isn't that pretty? Now we need some leaves, of course. So we're going to do some soft succulent. And we don't really need to mask here. We can nestle those leaves in there where we want them. This is true stamping for me, you know. Back when 13, 14 years ago when I started stamping, we didn't have dies, and we had a few punches, and that's it. So everything was stamping. And I love that look. So maybe we'll put, make sure that, oop, we got a little ink there, but it's not going to bother me. Put one leaf there. There. Oh, look at that. That's terrible. But you know what? I'm not going to let that little ink blob bother me. I can lightly buff it off. But it kind of looks like it belongs there, so we're not going to let it worry us too much. Now, I wanted the Orchid Oasis behind here, so I decided that this would work fine to use that little ombre glimmer. That's just a little touch of shine. So we're going to add that to our, I don't know if I like that. Maybe I need another piece. We'll see. But we'll just add this on here and get started. What I could do is use this paper for something else. I can just trim it down a little bit. We'll get a new one. So we'll let that dry for a minute while I cut a new piece of paper. let's see, we want to use this one. We can do that. Now that took care of that. And we'll use that on another card. That's not a problem. So now we're just going to add this to our card base. I think that's had time to dry. This stamping with these flowers like this reminds me of a set we had a couple years ago. I think it was called Beautiful World, or I don't know, but it was similar but different. And I just think this is so pretty. Do your own stamping and make your own designs. Make your own designer series paper. I did leave just a tiny edge around here because it seemed like when I tried to cut it exactly, it just wasn't perfect. So I bought the Orchid Oasis ribbon. We'll just put that around here. We're going to tie it in a bow. So we need a little bit more than usual. I think that's, I might need to order some more of that. I love this ribbon because it's thin, it ties nicely, and it mails easy. So I don't like lumpy bows. Let's see. Bring that down a little bit. It doesn't need to be that big. The fun thing about this ribbon is you can also pull it out and make it a little bit fluffier. You can even kind of shred the ends if you want to. Now we'll put a glue dot there to hold that in place. Just to keep it from sliding around. It's not super necessary, but it's there. Now this looks like it slid a little bit. Let's slide it back. I think when it's this paper, it's easy to move it easier than regular paper. There we go. Now we're going to put that. We'll put this on with some dimensionals. And then we're going to need a sentiment. I just pulled a happy birthday from something fancy. So we always need birthday cards. It's nice to see you, Nancy and Cindy. Thanks for joining us. And Rosalind. I know, it's not my usual night, Rosalind, so we got you guys all confused here. we'll be back, hopefully we'll be back on schedule next week. So I pulled Happy Birthday, and we'll just stamp that on a scrap piece. I think this will work. We'll use the Orchid Oasis. Well, this is my die. Yeah, that's enough space. This is the only die I'm using. So if you don't use dies, you just do a little banner and snip the ends like a mermaid tail. Or if you have that punch that punches out this label, that'll work too. Here's our little sentiment. We'll put that on there and we'll be just about done. I think we'll put that right on top of that ribbon. I don't know if this size will fit there or not. I think it will. That's good. We're going to put 3 because it's going to be on top of that ribbon. I want to make sure it stays. There we go. That it sticks well. Isn't that pretty to just create a little design all by yourself? So you could change the colors. You could do balmy blue, pool party. You could go brighter colors with sweet sorbet. Not pretty. And now we need some bling. Let's see, where's the bling? Right here in front of me. So we're going to use the In Color opal rounds. And I want to use these pink ones. I think they're pretty for this card. One there, one here, one down here. So there's our card for tonight. So you don't have to have the dies to just stamp, stamp, stamp. Do you know how when we've done the cards where you stamped the whole sheet of paper down the middle and cut it? I think this would work perfect for that, as long as you did some of the masking. So we might try that later with this stamp set because I think it would work well, don't you? I know you can't see, but there is a little bit of Wink of Stella on there just to give it a little shine. Be kind of fun. So thanks for joining me tonight. This was quick and easy, 30 minutes. I can go cook dinner. Robert will be happy. And I'll be back next Monday, if not sooner. So just watch for me on the page. Talk to you later. Bye.